Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important questions of 17th of June 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So watch this video till last. But guys, you can download our application that named is Careers Cloud and you can download from the description box link. After downloading, you can log in with your email ID, and after login, you can click on this crack current affair section if you want to subscribe for 1 year's current affair as well as for 2 year current affairs. We are providing various type of PDFs to enhance your performance in your exam. The price of both the subscription is very much low, and guys, the most important thing, we are covering 90 to 95% of the current affairs which are coming in every type of exam. And guys, remember, we are covering your current affairs like in the daily current affair section. You will receive three type of the current affair. One is detailed current affair, question and answer format of current affair, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly. Again, you will receive three type of the sections. One is detailed current affair, second is the question and answer format of current affair, third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. And the most important section is the monthly section, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is detailed current affair of particular month, question and answer format of current affairs, best 100 current affairs also provided in the form of question and answer, and last PDF is related to the pocket PDF. It means you can revise the current affair in quick format like one liner, two liner, or the three liner current affairs you will receive under this PDF. And guys, to enhance your further performance, we are also providing some smart PDFs which are known as topic wise PDF. We are covering 20 most important topics under various type of PDFs, and these topics are very important for every type of exam. And guys, if you want to revise just one topic related all the news, you have to pick this PDF. Next is banking awareness section. Especially for the banking aspirants, we are providing three things. One is detail and question and answer format of current affairs only related to banking and economy, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on monthly basis. And guys, if you want to revise all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then exam PDF is for you. We are also providing budget and economic survey. We are providing detail, budget and economic survey, also the expected question and answer which examiner can ask from budget and economic survey. Next is the state current affair. If you are preparing for your state exam, then these type of the state current affairs are very important for you. And the most important thing, we are covering every state and union territory. So there is no different subscription for all these sections. This all thing come under the one subscription. You have to just download our application and log in with your email ID, and you can click on this crack current affair section and you can subscribe for 1 year validity as well as for 2 year validity. Both the subscription prices are very much low. If you see the price, you will definitely surprise. And on that minimal price, we are providing 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. And guys, if you have any type of problem, then you can email us on this email ID or you can contact us on this number. So let's begin today's session, that is 17th of June 2021. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share this video, you have to subscribe this channel, and you can join our Telegram group from the description box link. So let's begin today's session with the most important question section, and we will discuss two most important questions. First is, what is the name of world's first wooden satellite which will be launched from New Zealand? It will be launched by European Space Agency, but it will be launched from the New Zealand. And the most important keyword here is the world's first wooden satellite. Name of this satellite is VISA or the VISA Woodsat. So guys, you can see this, New Zealand to launch world's first wooden satellite. So you can say in an introductory move, the European Space Agency will launch the world's first wooden satellite, which is named as VISA or the VISA Wood Satellite. And it is designed and built in Finland. You have to remember, it is designed and built in Finland. And it is basically on the Earth orbit by the end of 2021. It means it will be launched by the end of 2021. And it will be launched on a rocket's Lab Electron rocket from the Mahia Peninsula launched complex in the New Zealand. So in simple word, you can remember that it will be launched from the New Zealand. So it is basically idea or the brainchild of Jerry McKinnon. You have to remember this name because he is the co-founder of Arctic Astronautics, a satellite making company, and the sending work satellite is being done by this company. So that's why this is the brainchild of Jerry McKinnon. And it is a 10 into 10 into 10 centimeter nano satellite shaped like a cube. You can also see this. It is shaped like a cube. And you can also remember it is built up from the standardized boxes and surface panels made from the plywood, which is basically used for the making furniture. And its non-wooden external parts are only corner aluminium rails for its deployment into the space and a metal selfie stick. You can see here, this is the metal selfie stick. So it is just for the photographs, and it will orbit around 500 to 600 kilometer altitude in a roughly polar sun synchronous orbit, and it is placed in a thermal vacuum chamber for keeping it dry in space. So the reason behind sending the wooden satellite into the space is to test the durability of the wooden material for future space mission by exposing it to the extreme space conditions such as heat, cold, vacuum, or you can say the radiation for an extended period of time. But you have to remember the most important organization here is the European Space Agency. It was established in 1975. Headquarter of European Space Agency is Paris, France. So you can remember this. Don't remember the Director General. Director General is Joseph, but it is not so much important. So now we can move to the next question. Who has been appointed as the member of Board of Securities and Exchange Board of India? So very simple question. It is appointment. That's why we are covering this question in the most important section. We are talking about one body, very famous body, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, and one person recently appointed as the member of this body. Answer of this question is Anand Mohan Bajaj. So you can see here, Finance Ministry official Anand Mohan Bajaj appointed as a SEBI board. So he will succeed famous person Tarun Bajaj, who is now the Revenue Secretary, and the other central government official appointed in the SEBI board, like you can say KVR Murthy. He is appointed as a you can say the one of the member of the SEBI, and he is currently working as the Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. But you don't have to remember; you have to just remember the name of Anand Mohan Bajaj, and he has been working as an additional secretary in the Ministry of Finance since May 2020. He served as the Joint Secretary in the Treasury, and he also served as the Director in the Ministry of Finance from time period of 2006 to 2011. So you have to just remember the name Anand Mohan Bajaj. He was recently appointed as one of the member of SEBI. You can also remember about Neeraj Bajaj here. Neeraj Bajaj, he was recently appointed as the chairman of Bajaj Auto. Bajaj Auto. Earlier, this position was held by Rahul Bajaj, but now Rahul Bajaj became the honorary chairman of this Bajaj Auto, and it is for the time period of just 5 years. So it is just an honorary position, but main position goes to Neeraj Bajaj. Next, Jose J. Khatur. He was recently appointed as one of the executive director of the RBI, which was nominated by the government of India. So you can remember all the four options. All are very, very important. Now we can move to the next section. It is our very important question section. You have to like this video, share this video. You have to subscribe this channel, and you can join our Telegram group from the description box link. And I am again requesting you, all the students who are watching this video, please like this video. And here is the first question in the very important section. Which state launched Yuva Shakti Corona Mukti Abhiyan? So this is a basic, you can say, the campaign and the scheme of the government, which is known as Yuva Shakti Corona Mukti Abhiyan, and this is launched by Madhya Pradesh. So guys, you can see here Madhya Pradesh, and you can see here the smiling face of Shivraj Chauhan, who is currently the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. And Madhya Pradesh government launched Yuva Shakti Corona Mukti Abhiyan, and it is to create awareness. It is basically a campaign to create awareness among people on COVID-19 pandemic. And you can see here Yuva Shakti Corona Mukti Abhiyan means free from corona with the help of youth power campaign. By the name, you can guess that what is the meaning of this Yuva Shakti Corona Mukti Abhiyan. It means free from corona with the help of youth power campaign. And under this initiative, an awareness campaign will be conducted to college teachers and about 16 lakh college students about appropriate behavior and vaccination on the COVID-19. And campaign will run by the Higher Education and Technical Education Department in association with the Public Health and the Family Welfare Department, because we are involving the college students. So there is a need of Higher Education and Technical Education Department, and it is related to COVID-19. That's why there is a need of Public Health and Family Welfare Department. For effective real-time monitoring of campaigns, a mobile application has also been developed. So this is the detail of this Yuva Shakti Corona Mukti Abhiyan. And guys, I think all the students know about Madhya Pradesh. Capital is Bhopal. Very simple. Chief Minister is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and Governor is Anandiben Patel. She has an additional charge of Madhya Pradesh, but she is currently the main governor of Uttar Pradesh. But you have to remember the most important national parks in Madhya Pradesh, because maximum area under forest lies in the Madhya Pradesh. And if you are talking about the national parks, there is Bandhavgarh National Park. Remember, Bandhavgarh National Park, one of the largest national park of India. Next is Kanha Tiger Reserve is there. Pench Tiger Reserve is there. Pench National Park is basically. Next is Madhav National Park. Shivpuri National Park. There are so many. Shivpuri National Park. Panna Tiger Reserve and Panna Biosphere Reserve, one of the 18 Biosphere Reserve of India. Next is One Bihar National Park, One Bihar, Satpura Tiger Reserve, Satpura, Sanjay National Park, not Sanjay Gandhi, it is Sanjay National Park. Sanjay Gandhi is in Maharashtra. Kuno National Park. So I think we covered so many, 7, 8, 9, and we covered 10 national parks. Bandhavgarh, Kanha, Pench, Madhapur, Shivpuri, Panna, One Bihar, Satpura, Sanjay, Kuno. So many tiger reserves, and there are so many left. We are just covering the 10 national parks. So you can just remember this. Next question is, what is the name of human spaceflight which will be launched by China in the coming days? So the most important keyword under this question, human spaceflight, and it will be launched by China in just, you can say, the 5 to 6 days. And name of this human spaceflight will be Henzhou 12. Henzhou 12. So you have to just remember. And even you can pronounce it as a Shenzhou. So it is your choice. Shenzhou 12, China to launch first human spaceflight since 2016. Because in 2016 they launched Shenzhou 11, but now they are launching Shenzhou 12. And you can see here Henzhou 12, which means divine vessel, and it will be launched from Gobi Desert on a long march rocket in the coming days with 3 men aboard. So guys, you have to remember this is a 3 men flight mission, and it will be launched in coming days, and it is launched from the Gobi Desert. And the crew will stay there for the 3 months until the September 2021 and will engage in practicing spacewalks, conduct repairs along with the scientific operations. And remember, the duration will succeed the 33-day record set by the Shenzhou 11 in 2016. And this will be the third of 11 missions needed to complete China's space station by 2022, because there are total 11 missions which are required to complete the China space station. This is the third mission out of 11 mission, and 4 missions will be people on board, covering 12 Chinese astronaut into the space. So remember, this is the one of the 11 missions which needed to complete the China space station by the year of 2022. And guys, you can remember what is the name of the China space station. It is the Tiangong. So remember, it is the name of the space station of China, and it will be completed by the end of year of 2022. So in 2024, basically we are retiring the International Space Station. So after 2024, only space station, International Space Station, which will be working, that is only China space station, which is known as Tiangong space station. And this is also China's 7th crewed mission overall. So you can also remember, China became the second country to put the rover Hurong on Mars. So you can remember, because first country was United States of America, and China become the second with the you can say the landing of the rover Hurong on the Mars. And the aim of China is to become a major spacefaring power by 2030. And this mission is just a launch, and it is also considered as a gift of 100th anniversary of founding of the Communist Party of China. So this is the minor detail of this news. So you can just remember the 2 or 3 things. One is the name of this mission, Shenzhou 12, and it will be a human spaceflight mission, and it is launched by China, and it is one of the 11th mission which is needed to complete the China space station by the year of 2022. Even you can cover here the option Hurong. I already covered. It is the name of the rover which was landed on the Mars recently by China. And Vostok 1, this is very important question. This is basically static question. Yuri Gagarin, the first person, or you can say Yuri Gagarin was the first human in space and the first in Earth orbit on the Vostok 1. Vostok 1. He used this space flight which is known as Vostok 1, which is used by the Yuri Gagarin in 1961. First human in space. So you can remember this. Moving to next question. What is the name of digital banking solution platform which was launched by ICICI Bank for corporates, only for the corporates? So the very important keyword under this question, digital banking solution platform, and it is launched by ICICI Bank, and it is only for the corporate. Name of this platform is ICICI Stack. Remember, ICICI Stacks. And you can see here ICICI Bank launched ICICI Stack for corporates. And you can also remember what is the meaning of this stack. Stack stands for start relationship instantly, T for transact digitally, A avail insta loans, C is the care for self and business, and K for the keep growing. So this is basically the meaning of stack, but you don't have to remember what is the meaning of stack. So guys, you can see here, it is a comprehensive set of digital banking solutions named ICICI Stack for corporates and their entire ecosystem, including promoters, group companies, employers, dealers, vendors, and all other stakeholders. And under ICICI Stack, the companies are provided with customized banking solution services in over 15 sectors, which will be provided by ICICI Bank, like financial services, IT services, pharmaceuticals, steel, and their entire ecosystem. And the major four main pillars of the ICICI Stack for the corporates are like digital banking solutions. This is the main pillar. Digital supply chain management solution, banking for employees, and curated service for promoters and the director. So this is the meaning of ICICI Stack. If you want to remember the meaning of stack, then you can. Otherwise, it is not so much important. You can remember, or you can read just one thing about the stack, or you can write some thing on the paper so that you can remember for a long time period. But here, important thing, what is about ICICI? ICICI was established in 1955 and it was incorporated in 1994. Headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and its MD and CEO is Sandeep Bakshi, and tagline is Hum Hai Na Khayal Aapka. So you can remember these 2 or 3 things about ICICI Bank. But guys, these another platforms you can see here, like Infinite India, InstaFX, and Merchant Stack. These are also the platforms which are basically launched by recently by ICICI Bank. You can see here. First is the Infinite India. Infinite India was launched by ICICI Bank. It is for coordinating with multiple touch points, thus making hassle-free ease of doing business to the foreign companies in India. It is for the foreign companies in India who want to do business in India. Next is InstaFX. This is basically a you can say the forex platform which was launched by ICICI Bank to help the customers of any bank to get ICICI forex prepaid cards swiftly. Any customer from any bank can get this ICICI Bank Forex prepaid card swiftly. Next is the Merchant Stack. This was again very important. This question was asked recently. It was launched by ICICI Bank. It will prove highly beneficial to the grocers, supermarkets, large retailers, store chains, online businessmen, and large e-commerce firms. And it is also to provide the financial solution to these small beneficiaries, or you can say the small manufacturers. So remember all these because all are launched by ICICI. Now we can move to the next question. LIC Card Services Limited partnered with which bank to launch Shagun, a contactless prepaid LIC gift card? Even examiner can ask you about the name of this contactless prepaid LIC gift card. So its name is Shagun. But now we are talking about LIC Card Services basically tied up with the bank so that they can launch this Shagun, a contactless prepaid LIC gift card. And this is by the IDBI Bank. And guys, this Shagun, a contactless prepaid LIC gift card, is launched on RuPay platform. Its main aim to expand the gift card market and promote cashless way of gifting. You can see here LIC, CSL stands for Card Services Limited, IDBI Bank launch RuPay prepaid gift card which is known as Shagun, and you can see here this is the shape of the card and this is the you can say appearance of the card. And you can see here LIC gift card approved by the IDBI Bank on the RuPay platform. In the initial phase, the Shagun gift cards will be available only for the official use of LIC and its subsidiaries and associates. It is in the initial phase, and this will be used to facilitate awards and special rewards during the official conferences and functions. And the loading option of the card ranges from 500 to rupees 10,000. It means minimum you can load 500 rupees and maximum to maximum rupees 10,000. And the card with a validity of 3 years can be used for the multiple transactions, and it enables the users to make contactless payment at the contactless point of sale terminal, and for the purchase of up to rupees 5,000 the users can make payment without entering the PIN. And the card gets auto linked with the mobile application which is known as M Passbook. So you can remember the name of this application, M Passbook, and enables real-time access to transactions history, balance, and others. So all things can be you can say see on this mobile application that is known as M Passbook. So this is LIC Card Services and IDBI Bank and RuPay platform. So these 3 things you have to remember as a keyword. And recently the Life Insurance Corporation on LIC of India has launched one program that, or one you can say policy which is known as Bajat Plus, or you can say the Saving Plus, a non-linked participating individual saving plan which offers a combination of protection and saving and financial support for the family of the deceased policyholder any time before maturity. So this is Bachat Plus and it is launched by LIC. And guys, you can also remember about the IDBI. IDBI basically incorporated as a banking company in 2004, but it was established in 1964, but it incorporated as a banking company in 2004. And its CEO is Rakesh Sharma, and its headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Don't remember about LIC cards. Don't remember. Just remember IDBI Bank. Moving to next question. What is the name of the mission which will be launched by NASA to Mars in 2024? So recently in the yesterday's lecture we covered one mission of the Venus which will be launched by you can say European Space Agency in 2030. The name of this mission is Envision, but it is launched by European Space Agency and it is a Venus mission and it will be launched in 2030. Next you can see here the Veritas. It will be launched by NASA. And Venchai Plus it will also be launched by NASA, and both the missions are basically related to Venus and it will launched in 2028 to 2030. So it means B, C and D cannot be the answer. Answer is Escapade. It means there are a lot of things you have to remember. The name of the Venus missions which will be launched by the European Space Agency and the NASA. Now NASA's Mars mission which will be launched in 2024, mission named as Escapade. And you can see here Rocket Lab to design 2 Photon spacecraft for Escapade Mars mission, and Rocket Lab is also a United States based company. And you can see here Rocket Lab was awarded a contract of design 2 of its Photon spacecraft for the mission to Mars in 2024. And what is the meaning of this Escapade? It stands for Escape and Plasma Acceleration and Dynamics Explorer. And Escapade mission is a part of NASA's Small Innovation Mission for Planetary Exploration program. And the spacecraft will orbit around the Mars to understand the structure, composition, variability and dynamics of Mars' unique hybrid magnetosphere. So in simple word, you can say it will basically study all the things about the Mars, especially the structure and the composition of the Mars. So you can just remember, and remember here is the name of the Rocket Lab. Otherwise, no need to remember, because Rocket Lab Photon spacecraft represent a low-cost method of conducting an interplanetary mission, which often cost hundreds of millions of dollars, or you can say more than hundred of millions of dollars. And Photon is the core of Rocket Lab space system business. So you don't have to remember this thing. You have to just remember the Rocket Lab, and other missions are very, very important here. Moving to next question, but you can remember about NASA here. NASA was established in 1958 and its headquarters is in Washington DC, United States of America, and its administrator is Bill Nelson and chief scientist is Jim Green. But Bill Nelson is important because he recently became the 14th administrator of NASA. He was appointed in May 2021 by the President of United States of America, Joe Biden. Next question is, which bank will be the lead sponsor and biggest shareholder of National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited? So guys, this is very important because National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited was recently created by RBI. It is also known as the bad bank. So you can remember it is also known as the bad bank. So why it is known as bad bank? So bad bank refers to a financial institution that takes over the bad assets or lenders that undertake resolution. So that's why it is known as the bad bank. And the maximum, you can say the lead sponsor and the biggest shareholder of this National Asset Reconstruction Company is Canara Bank, and total share or the stakeholder is 12%. So just remember. And you can also see here Canara Bank to buy 12% stake in National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited. And you can also see here Union Bank will also pick up 9% stake in National Asset Reconstruction Company. But the most important thing, what is this National Asset Reconstruction Company? It is being formed by all the banks, and some of the non-performing assets of these banks will be transferred to the National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited for recovery. So all the bad assets, or you can say the non-performing assets, will be transferred to this National Asset Reconstruction Company, and this company will do some recovery for that. Setting up of this company, the proposed bad bank to consolidate the takeover stressed assets of the lenders was announced in the budget of 2021-22 by the Nirmala Sitharaman. And the Indian Banking Association was appointed as the nodal agency to constitute the asset reconstruction and asset management companies designated as the National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited and India Debt Management Company respectively. NARCL is likely to be operational by the July 1, 2021. So you have to remember 12% stake lies with the Canara Bank and 9% stake lies with the UBI Bank, or you can say the Union Bank. But there was also one news that the famous banks like SBI Bank, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, IDBI Bank are expected to take up 10% stake in that. But this is not finalized yet, but they are expected to take up 10% stake in the National Asset Reconstruction Company. But the maximum stake again lies with the Canara Bank. So guys, remember about Canara's Bank. Canara's Bank was established in 1906. 1906 and tagline is Together We Can. Together we can. You can just remember this. Headquarters in Bengaluru. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer is LV Prabhakar. LV Prabhakar. And guys, remember recently Syndicate Bank was merged into the Canara Bank in April 2020, which was the, you can say, the one of the largest merger in the banking sector. Like Syndicate Bank was merged into the Canara Bank in April 2020. And guys, you can also remember about National Asset Reconstruction Company. Just one thing you have to remember about this NARCL. And the most important thing about this, that who became the chairman of this organization, or you can say the first CEO, Chief Executive Officer of this National Asset Reconstruction Company, it is Padam Kumar Nair. So remember, Padam Kumar Nair. This is very important question. This question will come in SBI. 100% this question will come. Moving to next question. Which institute has developed a technique to detect the information or formation of cyclones at least 90 hours before the weather satellites? So answer of this question is IIT Kharagpur, and it is situated in West Bengal. And they basically established this technique with the help of the China's institution, which is known as the Antai Institute of Coastal Zone Research in China. So you can see here, Indian Institute of Technology Kharagpur, that is in West Bengal, and Yantai Institution of Coastal Zone Research in China have developed this technique. And according to this technique, they will detect the formation of cyclones, especially in the North Indian Ocean region, at least 90 hours before the weather satellites. And it is to detect the formation of cyclone in the North Indian Ocean region at least 90 hours before the weather satellites. And the study is published in the journal Atmospheric Research, and the study is conducted under the Climate Change Program with support from the Center's Department of Science and Technology. So after analyzing the post-monsoon severe cyclones and the pre-monsoon cyclones that developed over the North Indian Ocean, the team set out for a parameter, and when the parameter crosses the threshold value, it will indicate the formation of a cyclone. So this is the technique which will be used by IIT Kharagpur. So you have to just remember the question as in slide, and you can little bit remember about the tie-up of the institution with China's institution. Now we can move to the next question. What was the theme of United Nations Trade Forum 2021? So the very important keyword here is the United Nations Trade Forum 2021. And this trade forum is a high-level political forum of the UNCTAD, United Nations Conference on the Trade and Development. And the main theme of this event is towards a green and inclusive recovery. Towards a green and inclusive recovery. And guys, you can also remember that from Indian side, Piyush Goyal ji represented India. And the main theme is towards a green and inclusive recovery. So Piyush Goyal ji, who is currently the Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, represented India at the United Nations Trade Forum 2021, which took place on the date of 14th and 15th of June 2021. So you have to just remember this, and you can also remember that global credit rating agencies and the bodies such as the International Monetary Fund need to understand the struggles of the developing countries and give them a longer rope for economic revival. It means they have to give more loan for the economic revival, especially they have to provide some grants. And highlighting the supply restrictions in the making COVID-19 vaccines, this Union Minister Piyush Goyal ji stated that India can not only vaccinate its 1.35 billion, it means 135 crore people, but also produce vaccines for 7 billion people across the world. This is the capacity of India's vaccination manufacturing capacity. So it also basically Piyush Goyal ji also stated that under the Ayushman Bharat scheme, 500 million people in India will get access to the medical facilities for free of charge during especially the COVID-19, and it is set to expand to over 100% coverage to every citizen of India. So you have to just remember this question as in slide, otherwise nothing is important. So you can also remember about UNCTAD because it is the main platform. UNCTAD, it is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, and its headquarters in Geneva. Member countries are 195. Moving to next question, but you can remember here the option building back better. It is a theme of G7. We covered this question in the last class. G7, it is a theme of G7. It is a theme preparing for pandemics. It is a theme of G20 science conference. Moving to next, and it is from the picture. India is behind China and Pakistan in the nuclear warhead, and it is a report of very famous organization which is known as SIPRI. So SIPRI recently released a book which is known as SIPRI Yearbook 2021, and SIPRI stands for Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, and it stated that India, Pakistan, China are expanding their nuclear arsenals, but India is behind China and Pakistan in the nuclear warhead. And you can see this table, like Russia's warhead are like 6,255, largest you can say the nuclear warheads. USA 5,550, almost 700 less than Russia. China 350, France 290, UK 225, Pakistan 16, but India lacks this warheads. Like India has only 156 warheads. Pakistan way ahead from India, like 9. There is a difference of 9, and China is 350. So you can see here, India, Pakistan, and China are expanding their nuclear arsenal, but India is behind China and Pakistan. At the start of 2021, India with 156 nuclear warheads, and behind Pakistan and China. And the 9 nuclear armed states in the world, like US, Russia, UK, France, China, India, Pakistan, Israel, and the North Korea. You can see here the list. These are the 9 warhead countries, and they possessed an estimate of almost 13,080 nuclear warheads at the start of 2021, which is slightly less than the 2020, because in 2020 all the countries combinedly warheads 13,400, but now it is 13,080. So Russia and US together possessed 90% of the global nuclear weapons. They have extensive and expensive modernization programs. Saudi Arabia, India, Australia, and China were the 5 largest importers of the major arms in the world between 2016 to 2020. So you have to remember the name of the organization, which is known as SIPRI, and it is the yearbook of SIPRI. SIPRI stands for Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. By default, headquarters should be in Stockholm, and it is in Sweden. Moving to next question, and it is our important question section, guys. You have to like this video, share this video, and you have to subscribe this channel. You can join our Telegram group from the description box link. And here is the question in the important section. India has set a target to eliminate malaria by which year? So very simple question. Recently we covered the question that United Nations declared that we will end the AIDS by which year? The same answer is with the malaria. So answer of this question is 2030. So you can see here, IMD, ICMR launch expert committee to eliminate malaria in India, and the main NGO, the non-governmental organization, is Malaria No More. So guys, remember, Malaria No More, a non-governmental organization in partnership with the Indian Meteorological Department and Indian Council of Medical Research, launched a expert committee to eliminate the malaria in India. And India set a target to eliminate malaria by the year of 2030, and it is making steady process to achieve it. And you can see here, malaria and other mosquito-borne diseases are highly influenced by the weather and weather events. That's why this Indian Council of Medical Research tied up with the Indian Meteorological Department. And you can also see this Malaria No More, a non-governmental organization, is also attached with this, with both the organizations. So this expert committee aims to use weather data and malaria data to aid malaria controlling interventions, as it is a low cost effective method. So combining weather and malaria data can help in identifying micro trends and predict malaria pattern. So you have to just remember this, and you can also remember about Indian Council of Medical Research. Its Director General is Balram Bhargava, and Indian Meteorological Department Director General is Dr. Martunjay Mohapatra. Moving to next question. Who launched Sankalp Se Siddhi Mission Vandan? So the main keyword of this question is Sankalp Se Siddhi Mission Vandan. Vandan is basically a mission for the tribals. It means it is launched by Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs. It means I am talking about Arjun Munda ji. You can see here Arjun Munda, smiling face of Arjun Munda, and he launched the Tribal Livelihood Initiative, which is known as Sankalp Se Siddhi Mission Vandan. And you can also see here TriFed, which is the main organization of, you can say, the Ministry of Tribals, aims to expand its operation through the convergence of various schemes of different ministries and departments, and launch various tribal development programs in the mission mode, which is one of the is Mission Vandan. And guys, remember, Vandan software application is also launched. Vandan software application, it is designed to receive and process the Vandan proposals online. So a digital connect program under which a two-way communication process is proposed to be established was to be launched during this event. And launch of the Tribals India outlets. There are total 7 Tribes India outlets are launched. 2 in Chhattisgarh, 3 in Jharkhand, 1 in Jharkhand, in Jamshedpur, and one is the heritage site in the Uttar Pradesh. Tribes India Coffee Table Book was also launched, and this book showcases a rich cultural tribal heritage. So all the things are basically for the tribals. By the Vandan word, you can guess that it is for the tribals. And we are talking about Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and the Union Ministry is Arjun Munda, and constituency is Khunti, Jharkhand. And you can also remember here the organization TriFed. TriFed stands for Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development Federation of India. It comes under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Chairman is Ramesh Chand Meena. And you can also remember that Managing Director Praveer Krishna. Moving to next question, and it is from again the picture. It is not very important day, but you can remember because the organization is very important, like Association of Southeast Asian Nations Dengue Day. It is only a, you can say, the Southeast Asian Day, and Dengue Day is celebrated on 15th of June 2021, and the day allows the ASEAN members to promote the dengue prevention and control measures in coordination with the World Health Organization. And the main theme of this event is ASEAN Unite Against Dengue amidst the pandemic. So remember this. And the first official ASEAN Dengue Day was observed in 2021. And remember about ASEAN 2021 chairmanship lies with the Brunei. And you can also remember the main theme of 2021 is We Care, We Prepare, We Prosper. We care, we prepare, we prosper. So you can also remember the Secretary General of ASEAN for the year of 2018 to 2022. This is H.E. Dato Lim Lok. I am writing here. H.E. Dato, or you can just remember this name, H.E. Dato, just it. H.E. Dato Lim Jok Hoi, that is the full name because he is from the Brunei, and current chairmanship lies with the Brunei. And this organization was established in 1967, not 87. Moving to next. And it is our one-liner important point. Here is the first point. First point is Ministry of Shipping and Civil Aviation Ministry signs MOU to develop seaplane services in India. So it means this agreement will help in development of new water aerodromes and also operationalization of new seaplane routes in India. A total of 28 seaplane routes and 14 water aerodromes across the country are currently in various stages of the development at a cost of almost 450 crore rupees. So you have to remember the two ministries, Ministry of Shipping and especially the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. It's Minister of State Independent Charges, Mansukh Mandaviya. He is currently the Rajya Sabha member from Gujarat. Next, Ministry of Civil Aviation, it lies with the Hardeep Singh Puri, Rajya Sabha member from Uttar Pradesh. Next, GMR Aviation Academy and Emirates Group Security signed MOU. So guys, you can remember that GMR Aviation Academy is basically a New Delhi based organization, and it is a part of the GMR group and the 4th largest private airport company in the world. Like Hyderabad airport also lies under the GMR Aviation Academy. And guys, remember Emirates Group belongs to United Arab Emirates, and both the organization signed a MOU to promote cooperation in the exchange of information and technical expertise and aviation security. Main objective is to create a foundation for an international partnership that will benefit you can say the aviation corporation profession. So this is the main thing. Next is ASIC, or to expand benefits to casual, contractual and municipal employees. In simple word, you can say that Employees State Insurance Corporation under the Ministry of Labor and Employment is set to expand its health insurance services or health insurance services to all the casual and the contractual virtual workers at municipal corporations and the council all over country. And this will provide social security over to the vulnerable segment to the workforce. Next is RBI permitted mobile prepaid recharges under BPPS expanded its scope. So guys, you have to remember, because we are talking about Bharat Bill Payment System. This is BBPS, and RBI permitted that now you can do mobile prepaid charges through the Bharat Bill Payment System. So this is the main thing. This is not so much important. So you have to just remember about the National Payment Corporation of India, because it will be done through the National Payment Corporation of India. It was established in 2008. Headquarters is in Mumbai. MD and CEO is Dilip Asbe. Next, India extended fourth line of credit of $108.28 million to Eswatini. Eswatini is a new name of the country Swaziland. So you can remember the old name was Swaziland, and it is for the construction of their new parliament building, and with the total value extended to Eswatini as a soft loan almost $176.58 million. And these line of credit are being basically utilized toward the projects of information technology, disaster management, agriculture and the construction. So you can remember about Eswatini. Eswatini capital is Mawabane, and second capital is Lobamba. So these are the two capitals of this country, and currency is Swazi Lilangni, Lilangeni, Swazi Lilangni. So you can just remember, and it is a country in the southern African and is African's smallest country. So remember, it is Eswatini. Axis Bank enabled WhatsApp business solution by partnering with the Carix Mobile. So you have to just remember the name of this company and the Axis Bank, that is Carix Mobile. In partnership with the Carix Mobile, which is a fully owned subsidiary of the Tanla platform, Axis Bank makes banking conversational by enabling source communication and the secure communication over the WhatsApp. It enables full-scale integration of banking products across saving account, credit card, deposit and loan. It definitely helps to accelerate customer engagement and turn around time with a personalized experience while ensuring complete data security and privacy. Already ICICI Bank and so many banks start up this WhatsApp platform. Now Axis Bank is also starting through the help of the Carix Mobile. Moving to next question, and it is the question of the day. What was the question of 16th of June? Question was, which nationalized bank was merged with Punjab National Bank in 1993? Very simple question, and it is a static question. You can just cover this question from the slide, that I already covered that in 1969 14 banks were nationalized. In 1986 more banks were nationalized, and it is done with the help of the Indira Gandhi, because Indira Gandhi was the prime minister at that time. And total banks at the end of 1980 which were nationalized were 20. But in 1993 one bank was merged in the Punjab National Bank, and at the end of 1993 we get only 19 nationalized bank. And answer of this question, which was which bank which was merged through the Punjab National Bank in 1993, it is New Bank of India. So remember, answer of this question is D. Now we are moving to the question of the day, and very important question. What was the primary objective of the Sukhmoy Chakravarti Committee formed in 1982? So you have to answer from the 4 options. Read these options carefully, long options, so that so you can read it very carefully. So guys, answer only in the comment box. I am waiting your answer. You have to like this video, you have to share this video and subscribe this channel. And guys, you can also join our Telegram group and press this bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. And it is my personal promise, and it is Affairs Cloud promise, that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. If you are reading the current affairs from the PDF, it will definitely help you. So subscribe our PDF for 1 year as well as for 2 years. You can download our application to subscribe these type of the PDFs, and application downloading link is given in the description box. We are providing 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. And guys, don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy. Thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye.